There's another person who's also a really important thinker, uh, really important analyst, someone whose insight and thinking on things have, well, actually, they have profoundly influenced a lot of the country. Like, I'm sure they've influenced people like Paul Ryan. And that, of course, is Dinesh D'Souza. And Dinesh D'Souza, who I think, again, he's one of these people that over the last couple of years, with all of his fantasies about Barack Obama and his Google persecution complex, has probably convinced most people that he's an irrelevant lunatic or maybe just a cynical right-wing hustler. No reason he can't be both. But this is a guy who was taken very seriously for a long time by America at large and is still taken seriously in the right-wing movement, which makes what he just said over the weekend to Steve Malzberg.
This is the Newsbusters.
This is the Newsbusters YouTube podcasting guy. He was on talking about Ferguson. Having Dinesh D'Souza talk about Ferguson is like having Aldemano talk about, or it's like having Andrew Cuomo talk about how to run an anti-corruption commission without conflict of interest. It's insane. It's about, well, what would be another analogy? Gene Simmons talking about good taste. I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's roll what Dinesh says.
I mean, it seems really clear that they are fostering an atmosphere in Ferguson that basically goes, let's declare that this guy is probably guilty, and let's see what we can do to put him up against the wall. The idea that he would get impartial justice is becoming highly questionable. So this has become a real problem. Now, historically, blacks have faced this problem, and it looks like what we're seeing is a kind of complete flip. So that we're going from one set of injustices to another. And that's, what the common thread between ISIS and what's going on in Ferguson is you have these people who basically believe that to correct a perceived injustice, it's perfectly okay to inflict all kinds of new injustices, behead guys who had nothing to do with it, go and loot shops from business owners who were not part of the original problem whatsoever. And all of this is then licensed by the left and licensed to some degree by the media.
This is a guy whose book on why racism is over and a myth in America has defined modern right-wing thinking for decades. This is a guy who wrote a book in 2004 that was sympathetic to Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda and did say America was partially to blame for 9/11, not because of our obscene foreign policy, but because gay people were starting to get human rights in this country. Now, again, it's like Sarah Palin. Some people are saying, why would you waste their time with a Dinesh D'Souza clip? Because this guy has played a major role in the formation of the modern right and still is a platform. And he's saying that. And not only should it be called out because it's absolutely stupid and ridiculous and disgusting and ludicrous to make that comparison, it should be called out because he's undermining our national security by cheapening that. Promoting racial division, promoting ahistorical garbage, justifying the murder of a black teenager, and cynically talking about a major global national security threat to try to do some point scoring here at home. It's fucking disgusting. And it's not just a joke at a certain point. It's a disgusting, despicable abuse of platform and public stage. And we need to move past this completely. I invite Dinesh D'Souza to come on this show while I'm hosting, and we can discuss ISIS, and we can discuss his views on gays and lesbians and how they parallel those of ISIS. And we can discuss why he said that September 11th was partially the result of multiculturalism and rights for gays and lesbians and rights for women's health. And we can discuss why he wanted to have an alliance with far-right religious groups globally to block those things. And we can discuss why he has more in common with global extremism than President Obama ever did. And we can get to the root of whether or not he's actually crazy or this is just cynical money making. So come on anytime.